yet. Stephen, you're muted. You're muted. Stephen.
I haven't noticed an energy slump, and I'm going to apologize to the people on YouTube because I didn't press go live. So a lot of that's gone. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Oops, that might matter. Okay.
All right. So I do apologize to the people. So yes, can I just précis what we've just talked about, Raymond, for those people that have missed me because I didn't press the go live? Can I just very briefly say I've eaten the first day? I really struggled with the priming, and I didn't eat very much. Raymond told me I didn't eat very much, and then for the next 6 days, I proved him wrong by not only eating some more, but eating tons more, absolutely tons more, and my bowel movements went from one a day, occasionally one every other day, to two a day. I'm now eating earlier in the morning, eating much more food, maybe more frequency, having a few snacks, cut out the things that I deliberately ate to put weight on, which was like the dark chocolate and the yogurt and the caffeinated coffee. So I'm eating tons more. And over the week, I've lost, I know we're not talking about weight, but I've actually lost 4.5 pounds. But I am eating tons more. And I can't tolerate a thing I used to drink all the time, which was lemon water. I tried some lemon water and wow, I could not tolerate it. So I cut that out a few months ago. So anyway, I really do apologize for the people that were waiting to start, but there you go. So we're here now, Raymond. So yeah, and I agree with you. I'm not into the weight really, but I know that people watching are interested in the weight. So I weighed myself for the first time in a long time. And I'm glad I did it because people are interested, but it also disproves calories in, calories out, because I've lost 4.5 pounds and I have eaten tons more, but I've taken out those 3 things that put weight on me. But I definitely replaced it with more calories, if people want to talk about that as well. So yeah, there you go. So everyone's up to speed now, and I do apologize. Right.
And I do want to say that if you did keep those on, you probably still had the same result. So this is why I kind of open it up to carnivore foods only. If you like yogurt to help you eat the meat, do so. Anything that helps you eat more meat is what's at point there. Now, the biggest thing is notice how the adaptation makes it where your body is able to eat more. That's the beauty of this priming. It's going to notice, hey, I'm getting all this intake. I better prep up for it. All of a sudden your appetite comes up. It's like, hey, I'm open for business now. And you just keep feeding it that way. Next week, it's going to be another set of challenge. You're going to be doing 3 mats, no snacks. And you'll notice something different by next week. And you're already starting to feel it. You said that a little earlier, where you just can't put another bite in. There'll be much more of that on the 2-meal level. You'll notice that 3rd meal is going to be very difficult. If anything, you're going to be like, it's going to feel like you're just snacking on that 3rd meal. And then you're actually ready. You're actually fully primed then. And then we're ready for the 2 mats from there. But of course, I'll expect you to kind of try to push as much as you can.
Yeah. So let me just clarify then, because so next week is what? Is going to be 3 meals, but no snacks. But no snacks, right? Okay. So that's cool. One of the things I want to say to everybody that's watching, which we need to remind people about, don't forget, I am a coach, but I also am acting as a person in the street being coached by you. What surprised me is when I used to be a high carb believer before I got to 50, in my 40s, and I was a personal trainer, and we were restricting calories and doing all that rubbish. Everyone was really hungry, and I would celebrate weight loss of 7 pounds, in a month or something like that, and I think that was really great. But everyone was really, really hungry. Now, I've actually got within 7 days to the point where if you just said to me, "I got a big surprise for you, Stephen. Tomorrow you're not going to eat a thing," I'd be like, "Way, that's great. I don't want to eat," because it's amazing how pushing your body to get into the hunger signals and really just going that little bit extra. This is, it has genuinely surprised me. This isn't acting to sell the program that you've devised. It's really, really surprised me. You know, I had the 2 steaks in front of me, really felt like eating it, and within a steak and a half, I thought, you know, that's why I messaged you. So I just can't finish it, and I'm only first week into priming. Well, isn't that you know, that's amazing. So when you actually said, oh, the next week's going to be 3 meals, no snacks. Seriously, I wanted to celebrate and think that's really good. But that's within 7 days, because I love my food. I mean, I really do love my food. So I think one of the things we spoke about privately was you wanted to know what my take was on it, you know, as knowing a bit about the physiology and stuff like that. I think the signaling definitely changes very quickly when you go a little bit beyond. And I will say this to people that are thinking about priming or have just started priming: really do just, you know, get to the end of where you think you want to stop. Hopefully there's some more food on your plate, and then just go for the extra bite. Chew it, digest it, and then try to do another bite, because there is a point where you just can't stand the thought of it, even if you really enjoyed it. And that's definitely me. I tell you what, the steak with butter is just, you know, I'm lucky. I've got really good supply. The meat is fantastic, really fresh, really fatty. It is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I would look at the plate a couple of times and I thought, I can't believe I'm leaving that. Cannot believe it. But that's a really good mindset for somebody that's trying to lose weight, to get out of the I must eat mindset. And yeah, it's been a really good journey already. I'm really excited, and I do agree about the weighing, because I was reluctant to do that, but I thought I will do it for the people that are watching that still want to hear about weight. And I actually was expecting to gain. I was totally expecting it. So I don't want people to think that we're faking this, because at the end of this, when everyone's gone off, you know, Bella asked me genuinely to do a video in my underpants and sort of spin around, and we're going to do a video at the end of every single. I'm not putting it on here, by the way. I don't know how to do that at the moment, how to screen share, but we're going to do that, and we're going to show you, you know, the good and the bad. Whether there's weeks where it plateaus and nothing happens, the body composition doesn't change. But I looked at it and I thought, oh wow, you know, that yogurt, chocolate and caffeine really did put the weight on. The muffin top definitely, you know, came up. So at the end of this, you know, I'm going to do that. And I just think it's really fascinating, because if I'd have been betting, I would have said I weighed more, because I feel a bit more solid. But I definitely know body composition has changed, because I put some shorts on that last week were a little bit tight around the legs and they were baggy. So it's just, I think weighing and thinking about weight is the total wrong thing to do, because I promise you, I thought I would have weighed more. Absolutely would have thought that. And so I was a bit confused with the shorts, and then I weighed myself, and wow, you know, I'd lost some weight as well. So that's it. And I haven't lost any muscle. I think someone's put that. You know, I haven't lost any muscle. Haven't done any cardio. I've just stuck with my workouts. Now, the reason I haven't changed the workouts is because that would mess up the experiment. So I've done the same exercises, which I've done for the last nearly 3 years. Same duration, same situation. So there's nothing changing this other than what Raymond is telling me to eat. That's the only thing that's making a difference, completely and utterly.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I love that you're going through that and actually are a little bit surprised. You know, Bart's reaction was kind of the same. He was just kind of shocked that he's eating so much and also lost. So it's amazing that both of you are having that same experience, which is great. Um, and of course, it's all about, you know, food freedom in the end. So I'm curious about how next week's gonna be, where you're 3 meals and eating quite a bit. I can't wait till you get to that point where you just can't do that 3rd meal. So I'm very excited about that. I apologize about not being continuously able to join you. So I had a root canal removal. So that's allowed me, I had to, well, I didn't have to prime, but I primed that day, and I fasted that day, and I ate today. I had a Thursday. Actually, I did 2 days fast. So But of course, it was very easy because I was priming with you, so that made it real easy. As you could tell, you feel like you could like not eat for like a whole day and be very happy right now, right, Steven? So, which that's where we're going to get at in a little bit too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you asked me to log mood, and I thought maybe my mood would change. And often in meetings, there is that reticence from people who've started priming, where they've struggled with their weight all their life, and they just find that extra food concept, firstly, so alien, they struggle to believe that it's going to work. Secondly, they are very upset if they do gain weight, which definitely happens with some people on priming. I've definitely noticed that in meetings, people saying they've gained some pounds and inches on their waist. But I think it's just worth it. It's a really good sort of preparation for what's coming. This is, use the analogy with fasting, for instance. Some people fail to get into extended fasting because they haven't eaten enough leading up to the fast. So, they've drained the tank, for want of a better expression, and fasting is really difficult. So when you get into, again, I'm going to just be a little bit boring, but, when you said you're only going to do 3 meals, no snacks, there was no fear there because I've been primed to accept that. Absolutely. And if you just said 2 meals, if you said 1, nothing, I would have gone, I'm fine, because I feel like I've topped the tank up. I feel like I wouldn't need to eat tomorrow. I really do. I really feel like unstoppable, actually. But I can also try and understand, if I'd really struggled with weight loss in the past, really struggled. I mean, I did put on weight up until my 50s and when I was high carb, pre-diabetic and all that sort of stuff. But, people that put on, need to lose like 100 pounds, I can imagine gaining another 10 is really disheartening at first. So I'm hoping that this video will sort of document that there is a reason for the eating, and there is a reason why some of us put on a bit of weight. You may be putting on muscle and bone, which you don't realize. So when you get on the scale, it's not telling you the true story of what's happening with your fat storage. It's saying you gained some weight when it could be muscle and bone. It could be, a little bit more water. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is you get to a point where you don't want to eat, and that just makes a regulation of your life and how you eat going forward so much easier. So I'm looking forward to next week already with less food already.
Absolutely. So I want to make sure that folks understand, who's watching, that it's a process for a reason. We have to go through the priming to get to the proper fasting. And again, the way I like to do the fasting is just where you're just not hungry. So you're just know that you could just go on. So Stephen, I mean, right now you could do it easy 23-1, right? For example, and probably wouldn't even feel like a fast. It'd just be more like an annoying little nag that you had, but it's not like you're really truly hungry, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, whatever happens tomorrow, like I say, if you just said don't eat until this time tomorrow, that would have been a walk in the park. After all this forcing stuff down, it just would have been. So you've got to really go in. You've really got to buy into it. And the thing was, I didn't force feed myself the first day. And your little remark of "Wow, you don't eat much, do you?" was all you needed to say, because to me it was like, well, there's a bit of a challenge. I have got to actually eat a bit more because I'm not priming, and I need to prime. And once I got into that mindset of, really doing, I love the phrase you use, eat like it's your job. I just think, right, and I actually said it out loud at every meal. I got to eat like it's my job. Corny, but it worked for me. It worked, and it's just crazy. I just can't go. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit. The more I think about it, the more impressed I am with how powerful it is to be told, just eat. I mean, just eat as much as you can, because we're going to go through a process where at the end of it, you are going to be leaner, you're going to be fitter, you're going to be operating much, you're going to have total food freedom. I mean, I felt I was there-ish, 3 years of being a coach and talking to people, obviously, and before that with keto as well. But to actually do it is to a protocol. And again, that's something I've never done. I've never followed an eating pattern or a meal plan, or I've never tracked macros. I've done it for people that have asked me to, because they're interested to know. For instance, when we talk about calories, I don't talk about calories. For me, I don't think about calories, but I've had people say, well, I'd like to know what you eat in calories. So when I measured calories for a week, which I found really boring, by the way, and also problematic in a few areas, because you can't really do it properly, because food labeling and weighing stuff is so, temperamental. I was eating over 2,500 calories every single day quite easily, and it was about 3,500 in between. And I actually logged it, went online so people could see I was being truthful. I can't backtrack. And at that point, I was gaining muscle and losing fat. So I definitely was not flavor of the month for some people, because apparently you can't do that unless you're in a calorie deficit. But for me, I was doing it, and I was lucky doing the body composition machine, every single week. And I think this is just backing up that way of thinking, that if you've got the right nutrition going in, your body will just find the level. That's the point I'm trying to make. I found a level, and I tracked it afterwards. So at the end of the day, I went through it. Oh, wow. Oh, 3,100 calories. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what it'll be tomorrow. And just act naturally to how I felt. Oh, that's 3,300. Oh, okay. That's still more than my needed 2,500 calories to maintain. And that just kept happening. So I thought, well, see, the body's working out. It's doing it. So we're doing that again. We're just kickstarting that natural process of, working out exactly what we need to eat.
So all of the other things that you were saying has been actually going well. So your bowel, your mood, your sleep. So you haven't had any real negative results that you can think of, or is there any that you'd like to share?
Well, for this first week, the food bill's gone up, so it's cost a bit more. And I've been saying to Jane, don't worry, there's going to be periods of fasting here where I'm going to be eating a lot less. So again, that's a real common thing that people do say, oh, you need a lot of money to eat this way. And this week has been expensive. There's no two ways about it. But in the long term, this way of eating does end up being less expensive. And I know the prices in the world are crazy at the moment, and meat has gone up. But in the end, I know that I'm going to eat less than when I was eating junk, because the steak is on the plate. That's it. There's no frills. There's nothing else on there. I don't have to go and buy some fruit that's going to go in a bowl and then go off because I don't really want to eat it. There's no veg that's going to be put in the bin because it's not particularly nice unless you cover it in bacon and, things that make it tasty. So that's a practicality, I suppose. So this week, the only downside has been, yes, cost a bit more money. The packs of butter have run out. So the 250 grams butter, I bought 8 packs at the beginning of the week, which were just, again, divvied for me to put on steaks and stuff like that. And we both thought that would be adequate. And we nearly ran out of butter. So that's to give you some idea of how much butter I'm consuming. So, I know it's the steak and butter gang, but that's basically what I've ended up eating, steak and butter. And it's really, really good. So yeah, struggling to find anything bad. So yeah, probably the cost is the only thing, and maybe the additional bowel movements, which it's not the end of the world, but it surprised me to be on the loo. The loo, that's English, a couple of times a day has been a bit strange. I think one day I did 3, so that's really surprised me. I'm looking forward to not having to do that so much.
Yeah, actually, some people experience where they don't go at all during that time, but I do when I prime, so I do go a lot more often. So, and then you'll notice with the fasting, you'll go a lot less. So it does balance itself out, which is interesting. So, well, I'm curious about how it goes next week. And was there anything else you want to share?
Well, I suppose we talked about doing this coach to coach, and me talking about exercise. I suppose I should ask you if you're doing anything, but I always thought this was more about Chisel. But I'm happy to to talk to you about how you're getting on with the X3.
I did. So I started off pretty strong and started off for the Monday and Tuesday pretty good. No, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then had my teeth extracted on Thursday. So got a little nice little soreness from it. So that was nice. But after they told me that I'm not allowed to exercise or do anything for like 2 weeks, I'm like 2 weeks, wow, that's a long time. But yeah, so I kind of stopped.
Yeah. So I think what we should do then is we'll just put a hold on that. Hang on, I'm just putting something in the chat about the. Well, I'll say it. I don't know why I'm doing that. Someone's asked how much butter with each meal. So it can be as much as 125 grams. I can put a lot of butter on, but 125 grams throughout the day would be around the amount of butter that I'm eating. So yeah, so going back to what we're saying, Raymond, so possibly we'll just do this about Chisel, and then when you can get back into working out, see, what I'd like you to do when you do get back into working out is maybe do like a bicep pose or something really simple, so we can see if there's any development, muscular development, because there will be. I mean, that's the thing. I'm really confident that you will see a big difference.
Good. I'd hope so. It's been a while, like I said, since I've worked out, but yeah, that little bit I did, I could feel the difference already. So it does come back pretty quickly. So I am curious how much later on when I can do something. But like I said, I'm following doctor's orders, so they're gonna actually cut the stitch out after 2 weeks, and then I should be free to do whatever from there.
Yeah, I mean, the root canal documentary you sent me, I didn't actually look at, but I will have a look at that. But
Yeah.
anyway, for people that are looking in, they don't know what the hell we're talking about. So yeah, next week you asked me if I've got any reservations about next week. I'm thinking the 3 meals. Now I've done this week of priming, I am concerned that I will do the 3 meals and want snacks in between. I'm really interested to see, and I will be really honest with you and everybody next week when we do the live stream, whether that actually happened or not. Because I was able to not eat like that before the first week of priming, I should be able to do it quite easily. But I do think it's changed how I'm feeling at the moment and thinking about the food. So it scares me a little bit that I've got to stick to 3 meals, but also I want to. So yeah, I feel positive, but I have a little fear that I might not be able to do it, and that's the thing I was not expecting. But I also wanted to be honest with everybody because as a coach, I see it in people all the time. I'm really proud of the fact that the people I coach get good results and they're really positive and they get through it. And some of them do the same things. Send pictures of their food or they write down what they're eating, and it really helps them to share. And very often, it seems that we could lose touch with what it's like to be coached. So I'm glad we've done that from that point of view, because it's really nice to report to you. I like that. But like I say, I don't know if many people tell me what their reservations are, because I think when you're coaching, you want to be positive. I'm trying to be what's in the back of my mind, like the things you don't normally say because you're trying to sort of present in such a way. I do feel I don't want to let you down. So the accountability is definitely a really good factor here. I don't want to let the people down that are bothering to turn up for the live stream. I certainly don't want to do that, and I want to be the example. And maybe because of all those things, because of what I do for a living, and the meetings and all that sort of stuff, maybe I put a bit too much pressure on myself to be perfect, and that's worried me. But the bottom line is I will do it. I mean, that's the thing, because I know it's going to work, and I really want to see the good results at the end. So maybe that
I'll
was a
give
bit.
you a tip on that. So if you feel like snacking, eat a full meal. And by the way, I see in the comment about that we're not supposed to be working out during priming. That is correct. But with Coach Steven, since he's been working out for so long, I felt like that didn't matter for him. So he wanted to keep that in, and we'll keep that in.
Yeah, let me add to that, because for me, this is a scientific experiment. Okay, so I don't want anyone to say, "Oh, the difference in you is because you took out the exercise." Just the same as if I never exercised and this week I did exercise. That's what's called a confounder. So, if you've got someone, say for instance, that drinks a lot of alcohol, and they do priming and they see great results at the end of it, but they also stop drinking. A lot of people could say, well, it was just the drinking, it wasn't the carnivore food, he just stopped drinking, that made the difference. So I deliberately kept the workout in. I think I mentioned that at the beginning before I pressed live broadcast. So for me, I wanted it to be all about the food, and I wanted every single other thing to be the same. So I could categorically say, right, at the end of this week of priming, nothing else changed except the food, and this is how I feel. So it must be the change in the routine of the food. The workout would have messed it up just for me. So I think for the live stream, we both agreed that was a good thing to try. Obviously, if you're doing priming, the idea is to not work out, is to just suck up as much food as possible, because that it works better. So it's just purely for this one experiment to keep everything the same, because we didn't want people to say, well, actually, something to do with the exercises changing. And imagine, if I didn't exercise and Raymond said, oh, we've also added exercise. If you flip it around, people would have said at the end of the 12 weeks, but it wasn't the food, it was that exercise that you added. So everything's the same. Everything is the same apart from the food.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that's the part that kind of surprised me. And I know you only do like a 15-minute workout with the X3, but I'm surprised you didn't feel more sluggish. I was kind of expecting that. So let's see how it goes next week.
Yeah, that's the point. And yes, that's what I'm saying, Cam, because Cammy said you did take dairy out, though. That was the point. I wanted to prove also that the three things that come up the most in my coaching calls, which is that one square of dark chocolate, that can't do much harm, can it? A day. Yogurt, that can't be that bad. And caffeine. Just having 4 cups of coffee, how is that going to make a difference? So I've taken those out, and also, I've added some wriggle room on the coffee, because I've gone from 4. Janine said, yeah, it was a chocolate. See, this is it. So they're going to come out. They've come out. So now what happens between now and next week will be the food and the 2 cups of coffee I've left in, no yogurt, no chocolate, and no snacks. So we are, as we go through the 12 weeks, we're really going to zero in on what is actually working and what was causing problems. So I can tell you straight away that the muffin top that we all talked about in the meeting an hour ago with Bella and Cherish there as well, and about 100 members, we're talking about the muffin top. My muffin top has shrunk already by just taking out the yogurt, definitely. And yes, the chocolate. Well, next week, I haven't got chocolate to take out because I've taken it out already. I've taken the yogurt out already. So what's going to happen next week? Will I plateau? Well, let's see. And I'm also now going to take out the snacks and just do 3 meals a day, but I'm still doing the 2 cups of coffee. And that's one of the things I say to people. If you love your coffee, keep it in. If it's one of those things that you like for your mental well-being, keep it in. Because I like my coffee. It is good for my mental well-being. But I'm still doing 2. Now, if I get to a plateau, or, when we get to fasting, or when Raymond says, that's it, Stephen, woo, your time's up, can we come back next week? If he says take the coffee out, we'll see if it makes a big difference.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephen. Yes, my time is up. So, yes, I'm going to have to head out and coach. So we'll see you next week. Keep chiming in on Signal. I'll see you then. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you want to chat with them a little bit more, you can. So, let me know. I'll just exit.
Bye, Raymond. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the screenshots up, and I'll mess about with my settings while people are there if they want to see my food.
Perfect.
All right. So, yeah, thanks, everybody. And sorry I didn't press live at the beginning. So what's going to happen now is, because I don't use live stream, or was it StreamYard very much, I don't know how to screen share. So if you want to log off, that's fine. But I'm going to try and do a screen share and press all the right settings while we're live. And if you want to go, I will not be offended. But if you want to put questions in while I'm trying to do the screen share, that's fine as well. But once I've set this up, then every time I do it next week or the week after, it's going to be fantastic. So let's have a look. So screen share, and I want to do the window that's got Signal on it. That's there, and share. That's what I'm doing. It says Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. To fix it, go to System Preferences, unlock the screen. Let's do that in Google Chrome. So System Preferences. No, I don't know how to do that there. So let's have a look. But there's no questions coming up, so I'm assuming everyone's gone. So I'm going to settings because I'd like this to happen. Well, I can't work that out. Don't think the screen share is going to work. If anyone's still there, I don't think the screen share is going to work. Well, if anyone's still there, I do apologize. Yeah, I can't work out how to screen share. So I'm going to thank everybody for watching. And yes, I caught the sun today. I'm in the UK, so I went out and I'm bright red. But anyway, I do want to thank you for watching. And next week, I will have the screen share sorted. So thank you. I'm going to try again, but, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. If you want to stick around, ask a question, it's fine. If I disappear again, I'm going to give up. So let's have a look. Screen share. Everyone's very got tenacity there, sticking on. Okay, Signal, there it is. Share. Go to System Preferences. Unlock the screen by System Preferences. I'm impressed with people still watching. Lock in the bottom left hand corner. I'm not going to be able to do it because what they're telling me to do is not there. Cheese. Am I giving up cheese? No, actually, I haven't. And that is a brilliant question, actually, Brian, because I could give up cheese So it gives me a little bit of wriggle room. So yes, cheese I'm still eating. I'm hoping you can hear my answer. I see Yomi there as he gave up dairy, but cheese I'm not sure. So yeah, I deliberately added yogurt in, and beforehand, because otherwise there wouldn't have been a reveal. I didn't have much body fat, so I deliberately added 3 things that I constantly seen come up in coaching calls. And also there was a lot of, well, it's only a little bit of chocolate, so I deliberately had 1 square of dark chocolate. And the yogurt, I did confess last week that I'd got into a craving, so I bought a little tub of yogurts and thought, well, I'll have one of these a day. The next day I bought a massive, great big tub, and I thought I'd have like 3 servings from that, and ended up eating the whole lot. And then I went back to caffeinated coffee for a bit as well. And I did develop a muffin top, which, like I say, I've videoed. Bella told me to video, like a 3D thing where you sort of turn around, and I'm just in my underpants and you can clearly see a muffin top. And then at the end of this 12 weeks, we're going to put the videos together so you can see the progression. Yeah. And I've been putting a lot of butter on the steaks, and I know butter is dairy, but it's less problematic for me and less problematic for many people as well. Yeah, Brian, yeah, I would say it's the lactose. I would definitely say it's the lactose. And also I think the little bit there I said about the craving, it could also be the fact that you probably overeat it. So yeah, and the cheese I'm eating is cheddar. I tend to be a bit boring with my cheese. I do occasionally have brie, and I also bought some cream cheese as well. And this is why it's frustrating about the sharing the screen, because I could show you pictures and it would be really handy. But the help for StreamYard is absolutely atrocious. It doesn't bear any relation to what actually happens when I click on the things. So there should be a little lock in the screen when I do a screen share, but there isn't. But yes, hard cheese has less carbs, definitely. I will do it for next week, Yummy. So that's fine. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm quite enjoying just doing the live questions, but but I would really like to show you the pictures. So I'll have to work that out. Right, that's settings here. I'm not going to give up. Okay, that's there. General, that's no good. Advanced options. No, that's not in there. Screen sharing. And it says system preferences, and I should have a little lock or something, but there is no little lock. Let's have a look at that. Take this shields down. Please do a day of eating on priming, and please do a day of eating on priming for a video. Yes, like I say, I did actually talk about what I'd eaten, so I should have done that. How do I consume so much butter? Well, I'm actually just slicing up the butter and putting it on a steak. So we bought 8 packs of butter, which is 250 grams at the beginning. So there was 8 packs, and they've nearly all gone. So I'm not the only one that eats butter in the house. So I can't say all of those 8 packs what I've eaten, but I definitely would have about 125 grams a day, I think. And so I've been eating 3 times a day, and most of those are steaks. And then I just do small slices of butter, and I have the butter on the steak. I like it to be still looking like butter, so it's not melted away. I like it to be buttery, and it's just really nice. I'm using a Mac, Brian. Thank you for asking. I'm using a MacBook, and it's in Chrome. And whenever I try to do a screen share, it's not letting me. And then when I look at the help, it says to go into system preferences, and there should be a little lock to unlock, but there isn't. Does your body get adequate recovery time since you use the X3 bar daily? Yeah. So what's happening there is I'm doing push days and pull days. So the first day, let's say I was starting today, everything would be a push. So, do a chest press, that's pushing something, and then the next day will be rows, so I'm pulling, and therefore you get alternate days of rest for the push, and then the next day you're resting all your pull mechanism. So it's pretty good, and I think the inventor did a lot of muscle biopsies about recovery, and he seems to have worked out a really good system. So yes, snacks. What do I eat for snacks? Snacks. I've had I just had like some sausage cut up, and I had some cream cheese. That was one of the snacks. Simple, really. I bought some like packets of just popped cheddar cheese. So it's like popcorn, but it's made 100% out of cheese with no additives. So that's good. So that's been my snacks, really. Just those things. Trying to think of anything else. Sardines and mackerel. You know, the tin sardines, tin mackerel. It's been other things. So, Amy Lynn, you try to eat butter like you said. It was gross. Am I doing it wrong? No, you just don't like, cheese pops. I mean, you just, it's not for your liking. So you don't have to eat butter just because the thing's called the Steak and Butter Gang. That's just the name of it. It doesn't mean you have to eat butter, but it is a good way of adding fats. Personally, I really like it because I find it quite flavorful. I think it's really nice. So I'm going to go now. Deadlift with X3 is possible. Yes, that's one of the exercises I do. My whiteboard's over there, but the exercises are on these pictures. But I do for a push day, the posture exercises. If you do any exercise standing, that helps your posture. So push is chest press, overhead, shoulder, tricep like that, and squat. So you're pushing up the weights on your, well, actually it's like either bar across here, resistance band, and then I push up and do my squat. And then the next day, which is pull, it's deadlift. So you're holding the bar down there and obviously pulling up for your deadlift. Then you've got bicep, obviously. So, that's just the resistance band, and then you just pulling that up. Row, obviously. So that's, up and pulling this way. And I do calf raises. So you're holding the bar sort of down here, by the way, and then you just go up onto your calves. And that's it. I do one set of each exercise. So the whole routine takes about 12 minutes. And yes, deadlift is hard on your arms, definitely. Oh, Brian, that's brilliant. Thank you. Yes. So my email is zerocarbcoach@gmail.com. So zerocarbcoach@gmail.com. Just in case. I don't mind putting that in the chat. Doesn't bother me. And yeah, so I've been interested to put that weight on. Hated doing that. Hated doing the videos, but I think it was going to be good for the next 12 weeks to actually start with a muffin top and then move along the 12 weeks, lose the muffin top, and then get some definition back. And it's probably going to be a bit more interesting than if I'd just gone into it with nothing much to lose. Right. I'm going to have to log off because I'm sharing this studio. Actually, our dog is there's a little place where he sleeps. This just for the last couple of days he's had sleeping here because I'm remodeling the house a bit, so he'll be dying to come to bed now. So I'm going to have to go. And thank you so much for logging in. I really, really appreciate it. Can't wait. And thank you for the people that are doing this along with me. It's been really great to see the names there. Thank you. All right, and I'll see you next week, hopefully.